So, heroic visions. How do you start them? Where are they? Well, you go to Dornagal, right here on the map. You can see it. Do a little short entry quest line with Sorodumi, and then after you get that, you do the tutorial. You can get your helm enchants from this guy here. You can upgrade your stuff here. For now, on week 1, we're capped at these upgrades, but you'll get them all pretty easily. So just level them in whatever order you want. And then over here is like Mog and stuff like that. And then you can obviously go into the main thing. What can you do early on? It's going to be pretty rough, pretty rough. You're going to struggle early on for sanity. To get your better sanity, excuse the screaming, to get better sanity, I don't know what toy's doing that. To get better sanity, or the pet, to get better sanity, you've got to clear each area once. So for example, if you do Alira, which is the main area, that's 10%, Old Town, which is Shores area, that's 10%, etc. So just go through, do like the Dwarven District plus Alira, that's 20, Alira plus Shore, that's adds up to 30, stuff like that, right? There's other stuff we'll go through in the following round I'll show you, and there's other stuff like that too. Let's give it a go. So just getting ready for the vision, I'm going to show you my gear spec, as well as looking at the tributes on my masks. I have 3 masks on for this recording, and my tributes all level 1. Tributes will get better as you just progress through just doing visions over and over again. So if you're having a hard time, don't worry, it'll get easier. But yep, going straight into it, I do have consumes. You can also use the Avoid Fin stuff from, like, as you can see there, the well fed buff that gives you 20%. This is from BFA cooking during the Echoes on the off, whatever it was, patch at the end. So if you've got those or want to look those up, you can. And there's a lot of things in the visions you can do, like get buffs and stuff like that. I am using the bolster mask, which is Vengeance. So I do have to be careful with this pull coming up, and I do mess it up because I'm very silly, but even then I'm still fine. But if you go in here and you stand on the rug, it spawns a bear. If you spawn the bear, it gives you a 10% haste buff, so it's always worth to do it. Either that or the shopkeeper across the way will be open. The shopkeeper gives you 7% first, this gives you 10% haste, so it helps the run out a lot to get these out of the way. And zipping through it, all you really need to do is just be aware of that Vengeance. Don't pull too much and die. Especially be careful with elites, like this. Like a strapping lad here is pretty annoying if he gets too big, and then just do everything else normally. If you've got the sanity upgrades and stuff like that, like all you got to do is basically not int. And if you're pretty decent gear like me, you can just kind of roll with it. Just pull slower if you have less gear. It's not the end of the world. For this boss of the Dwarven District, all you got to do, it's pretty simple boss. Don't let any of the manuses knock you into anything. We've got Scorched Feet here. Don't let that knock you into anything on the ground or into his breath or anything like that. And try not to stand in the pools. You can right click away the dynamite to kick it out of the arena, or you just move the boss. He doesn't reset, I don't believe, if you just pull him through the area. So his fire breath's the only thing that'll kick you up, or if you get launched outside in the out of bounds area. When you get to shore, shore's pretty easy. All you gotta do is just avoid the eyes, and ideally save an immunity for the first phase when he turns into the shadow puddles and starts chasing you, because if you get locked in by split personality, it can be really, really bad, so it's better to just use an immunity or some sort of mobility spell to get out of there. Other than that, just don't look at the eyeballs. Nuke him, don't look at the eyeballs. Pretty easy boss, to be honest. But when you get to the bosses in the trade district, just be very mindful of the casts that the Inquisitor does, and try to use an immunity or something to get out of the convert. This guy just does a lot of sanity damage if you let him, so just don't mess that up like I did here. For the Slave Master, just watch the slam and don't get pulled in. It's pretty simple. Leaden Foot might knock you into him, so be very careful. If you've got an immunity like AMS or something, you can, or Bubble or something like that, that immunes like a magic debuff, because apparently this counts as a magic debuff, just let it, and make sure Leaden Foot doesn't launch you into a tentacle or into his thing, and you'll be fine. After that, start mulching through the Mage Quarter. It's not too bad. Just make sure you pick her out and stick with it. It's pretty lenient. The most scary thing in here is 100% the mini-boss in this area, the Amalgamation one, because he has a ton of sanity damage if it's anything like BFA. When you get to it, you want to basically pop all cooldowns. You want to try to have cooldowns up for this. Just change your route if you don't have cooldowns, and save a mobility or a immunity spell to get through the split personality if it's split personality in the week. When you get to the mage boss, you're going to need a kick, and you're going to need immunity, as well as basically trying to follow him. You're going to take a little bit of sanity damage here probably if you're not if you don't have a ton of stuff ready, but just anything you can do, you can immune to polymorphs and kick the other stuff, the entropic thing. And again, be very careful of the split personality if it's that weak. But you just follow him, blah 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 blah. It's not too bad. When you get to Alira with all the buffs coming, you can pop Lust. Popping Lust at Alira is perfectly valid. If you have drums or something like that. But just kick the Tainted, dodge the eyeball, kick out any dynamite, LOS when she does her thing, and yeah, I wouldn't even try standing in promise power unless you're at range, because she's a bitch to move around. Don't bother with it. Just take the damage, debuff, and kill her. She doesn't have too much HP. The only other thing I forgot to mention was, again, she has the chains from the trade district. If you have an immunity or something, it's pretty good to do it on there, because yeah, it's free damage, right? If it's not applied to you, you also don't get the pull, so you can melee her from the outside. Pretty easy. And yeah, that's Stormwind. I'm sure the other masks will make it a bit harder, and I'll go over how to get those masks, or in a second. So yeah. One thing I almost forgot to mention is do not use the helper NPC. I got the construct, the bronze construct, whatever it is. It is absolute troll. It makes it harder and can pull stuff, so just don't use it. Unless you really, really need a healer, I guess. Alright, then I'm going to quickly go over how to get the masks, starting with the Long Night, which is currently how you initially get all the masks. For Long Night, you've just got to fully clear a vision, so just fully clear all bosses plus Alir at the end, and you'll find this on, in the final chest. When you wear this, you can find the other masks. We've got here we've got Pained, which I believe is Shore. Just beat Shore wearing Long Night. That's it. Long Night is probably the hardest mask because it reduces your sanity by 50%. Pained, as you can see here, just makes you have an additional madness. It's not that bad, honestly, if you get used to it. And then we've got the next one is Dark Imagination, which is from, I believe, the Mage Quarter. All you got to do is beat the Mage Quarter with a mask equipped, whether it's Long Night or Pained. It doesn't matter. Or another mask, which we're going to talk to in the next bit. The next mask we can find is the Mask of Vengeance. That is located at the back of Stormwind between Old Town and the Trade District. There'll be a bunch of vengeful cultists hanging around it. They will naturally bolster, meaning they make each other, do more damage when they die. But you kill them all, you clean them up, and after you've cleaned them all up, there will be a mask sitting on this pole here, assuming you have a mask on, and you can pick it up. The reason you don't see it there is because I've already picked it up, but it'll be right there. The next mask is found right outside the Mage Quarter on the map here. It's right here. And all you got to do is go up to it, this little one poster here, and when you first talk to it, I can't do it because I've already got the mask, you will find option here to rip it down, and Hog will spawn right here and you just beat him up. He's not too hard at all. I do believe you need to have a mask on to see this. Oh wow, fancy seeing you here. I'm just finishing making this. Thanks for watching, everyone. It means a lot, And I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was helpful. And yeah, I'll see you around. Bye.